Take one.
Good evening. Good evening. It's Mike here. I'm just doing a little diving into baking, and I'm not typically much of a baker because when I cook, I like to just throw things together. With baking, you have to be very precise in things. But as we're studying the recipe for the legendary victory, it just had me thinking about baking chocolate chip cookies, nice homemade from scratch chocolate chip cookies. And there were a couple things about baking those chocolate chip cookies that remind me of the recipe for the legendary victory, as we're going to be studying it from 1 Samuel chapter 17, that story of David and Goliath. The first thing that I thought of was all that goes into the chocolate chip cookie before they come out of the oven. I mean, first of all, you've got someone out there growing cane sugar and processing it to get it ready to get shipped to us. You got someone milking a cow and churning some butter and getting that to market for us. Someone mixing some cocoa beans, grinding them up and adding milk and sugar to them to make them delicious for our cookies. Vanilla extract, someone growing those vanilla beans, and all this before it even gets to us. And then on top of that, we look at the fact that when we get it, we have to mix it all together, stir it up in a certain way, in a certain order, and then we have to put it on the pan and we got to apply some heat to it in order for those cookies to come out the way that we want. And in the same way, our legendary victory isn't just what comes out of the oven. There is a whole process that goes into the legendary victory. That 90% of it occurs before we even get onto the battlefield. Just like all that work that goes into the cookie before we even get the ingredients in our house. The other thing that reminded me of this recipe for the legendary victory from the story of David and Goliath is that very often we get excited about the sugar that makes it sweet. We get excited about the butter that makes them creamy. We get excited about the chocolate chip cookies that make them sweet and ooey and gooey and addictive. We love all these things. But what we don't often think about is the flour, the baking soda. These things that if you ever took a spoonful of it, you'd have to spit it out. You couldn't even eat it. But yet they are such key ingredients in the cookie. Every cookie I've had hasn't had chocolate chips or butter or sugar, but you know what every cookie I've ever had had in it? Flour. And this is the thing, one of the ingredients that's necessary for a legendary victory, there's got to be a formidable opponent, there's got to be a test, there's got to be a trial, there's got to be something that we know we can't make it through on our own so that we can depend on God to get there. So I just want to encourage you on this, that next time that formidable opponent comes up against you, don't focus on that opponent, focus on all the opponents God has already defeated on your behalf, because that new opponent, all he is fertile ground to plant a seed to grow yourself a legendary victory. So here we are, the moment of victory. It took some time and some effort on my part. I had to follow somebody else's instructions and be obedient. And I had to apply those things that I learned from watching Mom make her cookies back in the day. But we are at that moment of victory, fresh, ooey gooey chocolate chip cookies right out of the oven. Looking forward to trying them out. I would right now, but I don't want to burn my tongue. So God bless you. Have a great night and look forward to discussing that recipe for the legendary victory with you.